Sometimes it pays to just sit down and relax, to listen to something happy.
For me, it's future funk. Future funk is a spin-off genre of vaporwave. And as every genre, you need something visual to represent you aesthetically. So what represents future funk?
For the most part, the genre has consistently had the same sort of aesthetic. 80s and 90s Japan and anime. Think Sailor Moon and edited jazz, with some French house tossed in there. I covered the music portion in my audio, so here I'll be discussing the visual aesthetics. Visual medium, visual topic, after all.
So where does this aesthetic come from? Well, they both seem to come from the same place. Sailor Wave by Macross, 8299, and Bay by Young Bay. Fun name, I know. They both take a lot of inspiration, and visual inspiration, from the Japanese cartoon Sailor Moon. You may have heard of it. It's alright. Sailor Moon, it's old now. But that kind of retro aesthetic, that spicy 80s magic, especially with the 80s style music, really helped the aesthetic. And there's still a lot of people who use it to this day. However, there are some who go their own way.
Take Moe Shop for instance. They are a more recent producer based in Japan. Their style is a large usage of soothing colours, and a distinct style that is much more modern looking than the older stuff. In fact, this is the case for a lot of modern future funk producers. If they don't have their own aesthetic, then modern anime is the latest thing for a lot of future funk.
The biggest part is Vaporwave. Vaporwave is future funk's dad. You see, if Vaporwave didn't exist, neither would future funk. A lot of the inspiration, visually, the dreariness, the gloom, the deathly aesthetic of depression and 90s nostalgia is replaced with a more positive one. But there's always still a little bit hanging on. Gloomy Japanese text, people by themselves. The visuals may have changed to be more upbeat and pastel, but things are still gloomy and depressing. It's very important to understand the significance of the Vaporwave aesthetic. Without it, future funk wouldn't have its current one, and generally, neither would any of the subgenres, or half of the internet, I think. It's very, very important.
Vaporwave is dark. Its visuals are based on a chasm of gloom and sadness. But this is only a part of it. There are many subgenres, and a lot of Vaporwave is simply just tropical paradises of pink and purple, but the gloom continues. Usually in sad undertones. A 90s aesthetic that is usually more western than the happier future funk. It's important to know this, as the parent genre, a lot of inspiration leaks out. For the most part, it's just the colours and not the symbolism as future funk gets happier.
So what kind of stuff is future funk about these days? Well, I'm pretty sure it's obvious. Weeb shit. Let's face it, if you like anime, Japan, any stuff like that, you'll be into this. It's pretty obvious by the fact that it's got Japanese stuff everywhere. It's pretty obvious to me anyways. And that's not to say that the genre isn't changing. The older stuff is definitely around. And the new stuff is very good too. And it's also got its own style. The new stuff has its own unique style. More individual, bolder colours compared to the pastel and retro style of the old stuff. It's great. A genre that stays the same is bound to die, which is what happened to Vaporwave. Future funk, though, endures, and I think that's great, because I love it, and would want more people to listen and experience the visuals behind it. But for listening, you chose the wrong program. I'm only talking about the visuals.
Hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed working hard on it. The editing room is going to be a nightmare by the time I'm done with it. For more, I have a website. Feel free to look there if you want, to see some of the camera work and editing I've done. Have a good one. I certainly won't. See you.